Welcome to the top 10 victories of Hannibal. We embark on a journey through time, revisiting the remarkable military achievements of Hannibal Barca, the Carthaginian general who left an indelible mark on the annals of warfare during the Second Punic War. Hannibal, a name etched in history, is known for his audacious strategy, tactical genius, and an unwavering spirit that challenged the might of Rome. His victories are not mere historical events, but lessons in strategic planning, leadership, and the art of war. Let's begin our countdown with number 10, the Battle of the River, Trebia. It was the winter of 218 BCE, a chilling season where the landscape was merciless and the freezing river Trebia stood as a formidable barrier. But for Hannibal, these harsh conditions were not obstacles, but tools of warfare. Hannibal, known for turning the tide in his favor, capitalized on these harsh winter conditions. The Romans, led by the consul Tiberius Sempronius Longus, were ill-prepared for a battle in such harsh weather. Hannibal, the master strategist, used this to his advantage. He baited the Romans, luring them across the freezing river and into a trap. His brother Mago lay hidden with a select force, ready to spring a surprise attack from the rear. As the Romans crossed the river, they found themselves not only battling the Carthaginians, but also the biting cold and the treacherous river currents. Hannibal's forces, prepared and acclimatized, took advantage of the situation. They attacked with full force, catching the Romans off guard. The Romans, numbed by the cold and disoriented by the sudden attack, found themselves in utter chaos. The Carthaginians, led by Hannibal, seized the moment and secured a decisive victory. With the Battle of the River Trebia, Hannibal had just begun to show his strategic brilliance. Next on our list is the Battle of Lake Trasimene. In the spring of 217 BCE, Hannibal set a masterful trap for the Roman army led by consul Gaius Flaminius. Hannibal cleverly utilized the foggy conditions and hilly terrain around Lake Trasimene to conceal his forces. As the Romans marched along the narrow path sandwiched between the lake and the hills, they walked right into Hannibal's snare. The Carthaginians descended upon them from the hills, and in the chaos and confusion that followed, the Romans were routed. This was a classic ambush, a tactic that Hannibal perfected to devastating effect. The Romans suffered tremendous losses, and their defeat marked a significant turning point in the Second Punic War. The Battle of Lake Trasimene demonstrated Hannibal's ability to use the environment to his advantage, showcasing his genius in turning natural elements into strategic weapons of war. Coming in at number 8 is the Battle of Cannae. Picture this. The year is 216 before the Common Era, and the Carthaginian general Hannibal Barca is set to face off against Rome's mightiest on the battlefield of Cannae. This battle is one for the history books, not just for its scale, but for the strategic masterclass that Hannibal delivers. Hannibal, an underdog in terms of sheer numbers, faces a Roman army nearly twice the size of his own. But here's where Hannibal's genius comes into play. Instead of being daunted by the Roman legions, he uses their size against them. Hannibal employs a tactic that is as daring as it is brilliant, the double envelopment maneuver. This maneuver is a work of art in military strategy. Hannibal arranges his troops in a crescent formation with the weaker forces in the center and the stronger ones on the flanks. As the Roman army charges, the center of Hannibal's line deliberately retreats, creating an illusion of weakness. The Romans, eager for victory, press forward, unknowingly walking into Hannibal's trap. As the Romans push ahead, the stronger Carthaginian flanks start to close in on them from the sides. Before they know it, the Romans find themselves surrounded on all sides by Hannibal's forces. This is the double envelopment, a pincer movement that leaves the enemy with no route for escape. The result is nothing short of a massacre. The larger Roman army, trapped and unable to maneuver, is systematically annihilated. The Battle of Cannae ends in a resounding victory for Hannibal and a devastating defeat for Rome. Hannibal's strategy at Cannae is a testament to his tactical genius. Despite being outnumbered, he turns the tables on his opponent, using their strengths against them and exploiting their weaknesses. To this day is studied in military academies around the world, serving as a textbook example of tactical brilliance. The Battle of Cannae remains a textbook example of tactical genius. Let's move on to the siege of Saguntum. In the year 219 before the Common Era, Hannibal set his sights on Saguntum, a city located on the eastern coast of the Iberian Peninsula. This city was an ally of Rome, and its strategic location made it a tantalizing target for the Carthaginian general. Hannibal was determined to seize control of the city, and he wasn't going to let anything stand in his way. The siege lasted for 8 long months, with Hannibal's forces throwing everything they had at the city's formidable defenses. The Carthaginians used siege towers and battering rams, while the Saguntines fought back with valiant determination. But ultimately, Saguntum fell to Hannibal's relentless assault. The capture of Saguntum was a significant milestone in Hannibal's campaign against Rome. It sent a clear message to the Romans and marked the start of the Second Punic War. The siege of Saguntum showcased Hannibal's unwavering determination and strategic genius. At number 5, we have the Battle of Geronium. Fought in 217 BCE, this engagement was not a head-to-head clash, but a strategic masterstroke from Hannibal. His Carthaginian forces launched surprise attacks on Roman supply lines, disrupting their enemy's logistical network. This was a decisive move that not only weakened the Roman forces, but also allowed Hannibal to secure vital resources for his own army. By doing so, Hannibal ensured that his troops were well fed and well armed while the Romans struggled with shortages. This victory was significant because it showcased Hannibal's understanding of warfare beyond the battlefield. He knew the importance of supply chains and exploited this knowledge to his advantage. The Battle of Geronium was a testament to Hannibal's strategic brilliance, proving that he was not just a great warrior, but also a cunning tactician. The Battle of Geronium showed Hannibal's ability to disrupt and exploit enemy logistics. Next on our list is the Battle of the Metaurus. This engagement, while not a victory for Hannibal himself, was a pivotal moment in the Second Punic War. The year was 207 BCE, and the Roman Republic was in a fierce struggle against the Carthaginian forces. Hannibal's brother, Hasdrubal, was attempting to join forces with him, but was intercepted and defeated by the Romans at the Metaurus River. This battle prevented the Barca brothers from uniting their armies, a strategy which could have potentially changed the course of the war. The Battle of the Metaurus is often considered the turning point of the Second Punic War, as it marked the beginning of the end for Carthage's hopes of conquering Rome. Although not a victory for Hannibal, the Battle of the Metaurus was a significant event in the course of the war. At number 2, we have the Battle of Trebia. This pivotal engagement took place in the winter of 218 BCE. Hannibal, despite being outnumbered, used his tactical genius to turn the tide in his favor. The Carthaginian general used the harsh conditions and the river Trebia to his advantage. He lured the Romans across the icy river, weakening them before the battle even began. But Hannibal's cunning didn't end there. He had also placed a group of his best soldiers in hiding, ready to ambush the Romans from behind. This two-pronged attack, the front assault and the surprise attack from the rear, left the Romans in disarray and led to a crushing defeat. The Battle of Trebia was a testament to Hannibal's mastery of strategy and deception. His ability to use the environment to his advantage, coupled with his knack for trickery, resulted in one of the most decisive victories in the Second Punic War. And finally, at number 1, we celebrate Hannibal's audacious crossing of the Alps. In the year 218 before the Common Era, Hannibal took a gamble that would forever etch his name in military history. The Carthaginian general dared to do the unthinkable, leading an army, elephants included, through the treacherous terrain of the Alps. This audacious move was not just a show of sheer determination and courage, but also a strategic masterstroke. Rome, expecting an attack from the sea, was caught off guard. The sight of Carthaginian forces emerging from the snowy mountain passes sent ripples of surprise and intimidation through Rome's ranks. Hannibal's crossing of the Alps was a bold statement of intent, a testament to his innovative military thinking, and a display of his ability to inspire and lead his men through the most challenging of conditions. Hannibal's crossing of the Alps remains one of the most daring feats in military history. These 10 victories highlight the military genius of Hannibal, from the icy banks of the river Trebia to the sun-drenched shores of Lake Trasimene. Hannibal's masterful strategies and daring tactics left an indelible mark on the annals of warfare. His audacious crossing of the Alps remains one of the most iconic military feats in history, a testament to his unyielding determination and innovative spirit. The Siege of Saguntum, the Battle of Geronium, the Battle of the Metaurus. Each of these battles, while distinct in their context and execution, share a common thread: Hannibal's unwavering commitment to outwit his opponents and carve a path to victory, often against overwhelming odds. His prowess in the Battle of Cannae, where he surrounded and decimated a much larger Roman force, stands as an enduring symbol of his military acumen. Join us next time as we continue to explore the fascinating world of history.